ladies don't cuff too early because your soulmate might be one of his boys.
Watch them grow, perceive, devote. This is the seed, light the show. Watch them grow.
This month is a great month to make your mental health and your own personal emotional healing a priority. And for some, this may mean finally deciding to start seeing a therapist. And for this reason, I've partnered with BetterHelp to assist you guys in finding a therapist that's right for you. With all of the chaos, confusion, and uncertainty going on in the world right now, coupled with our own personal daily struggles, now is definitely a great time to talk to someone who can not just be a listening ear, but can also help you with the what, the hows, and the whys that you're experiencing what you're experiencing. So if you or someone you know and love is going through something right now and feels the need for a little more help, I stress that you guys take advantage of this resource. Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your July reading. I'm Princess India. If you are new, if you are family, welcome back, my friend. So in this vicinity, you should see me shuffling the cards that are on my desk at present. But we're going to go ahead and hop right into this sucker with the overall energy. Whoa, can y'all see that? Okay. With the overall energy, you guys have Star Family. And it says you're part of a team of souls. Call in support, my friend. I really dig this card. It's more or less saying, because you know that's from the STARSEED Oracle. It's more or less in alignment with the ethos that you guys are either calling your tribe in, or you have already met your tribe being members of your star family. So within this ethos, it's more or less the people that are in your life or the people that are coming into your life in the month of July are people who are from your same soul group. And it's more or less a call to action to take advantage of such of a thing. Or if you don't have one, to call one and set an intention, but we got a new moon this month, you know what I'm saying? But anywho, so hopping into you guys' cards, we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse. It's a lot of court cards, which is really weird. But we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse as the central energy for the month of July. This is challenged by the Sun card. Your past influence or the energy that you're coming into July with from June is the Page of Cups. Your root influence or underlying energy is the King of Wands. Your above energy being the King of Swords in the reverse. It's a lot of people. And then going forward into August, you guys have the Ace of Wands. And underneath your deck, you guys have the Eight of Cups. So, of course, I can look at this a couple of ways. Just because your above and your central energy are both in the reverse and being court cards, I'm more or less seeing this as Gemini's own energy. I don't necessarily see it as other people per se, unless the only way I can see that, I'll get that out of the way now, right? Of how this would be another person is this would be Gemini being offered an opportunity. This could be a job offer. It could be a love offer from a Leo person, because he's the only king that's upright. And of course, you know, we got the good old Sun card here. So it could potentially be a love offer or an offer to work on a project or something along those lines by a Leo person. And the issue that Gemini would have with this is there is a level of sacrifice with it, because it would require you to walk away from something. So leaving one job, going to another one, or potentially moving to another place is a possibility as well. And I feel it's more or less that this causes a sense of unrest with Geminis, because it's a level of indecisiveness, as this offer is something that aligns with you. It's something that you'd be excited about. It kind of opens up new opportunities and new windows, and it speaks to your inner child, if you will, since that's been a theme so far this month. It's something that really speaks to your soul, that gives you life. However, I feel that there is a level of sacrifice with that, as in order to take this opportunity that's offered, one would have to leave something behind. I mean, worst case scenario, this, and I kind of joked about that in the Aquarius reading, but worst case scenario, that would be, being in a partnership with a person, you know what I mean? Like, well, I mean, that is a King of Swords. I mean, if it's an Aquarius person, I don't know, but it's like being in a partnership with someone, and getting a better offer. I legit just joked about that in Aquarius with a Joanne the Scammer meme of, ladies, don't cuff too early because your soulmate might be one of his boys or something like that. It was something like that. But it's more or less what's better suited for you comes in. So, I mean, if you guys have Aquarius in your chart, I will most certainly check that out. Because Aquarius's reading was all about kind of like pumping the brakes and not moving too quickly because something else was coming in. So this very well could be a better offer for Geminis that are coming in. And if you kind of dug your heels in and got committed to something, you may have to leave that behind, right? So, but I mean, the King of Wands in comparison to, the King of Pentacles in the reverse and the King of Swords in the reverse, I mean, is that really a choice that one would need to make? Because those two energies together just, it's not titillating. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, but the other way that I would look at this is more or less Gemini being inspired, and this still could be the same essence, and this would just be solitary, just all of this happening within Gemini. The only thing that would really involve someone else would be towards the end of June. For you guys, it's an opportunity or offer that came in, or it was just some sort of inspiration, like an idea that you guys had that you want to act on, whether it's side hustle, starting a business, going back to school, whatever the case may be. But it's something that's very much in alignment with your heart space. It's something that's uniquely you and a true heart's desire of yours, if you will. However, the issue that I see that's coming in for Gemini in the month of July is in a mental space sense. There's a level of indecisiveness. It's not trusting yourself, not knowing if you can really handle it. Should I do it? Should I not do it? That being laced by a little bit of fear. Or you guys could be called up to take a position of leadership, and it's more or less falling into a sense of self-doubt. So although it's something that you know that you really want, it's not really trusting yourself or not really feeling prepared, if you will, that kind of makes you want to backstep, even though it's very clear to you that this, it seems to be like the bridge to what it is you guys have been hoping for or praying for. You know what I mean? But it's just in a mental sense, it's indecisiveness, it's ambivalence, it's not really knowing which way to go. It's kind of almost a choice of what the Eight of Cups talks about, of something that you've invested time, energy, and effort into, something that's tried and true, something that you're familiar with, and taking a chance on uncharted territory, if you will. And with the King of Pentacles here, it's more or less you guys having an idea about this or having this opportunity and not feeling financially secure. And in some elements, for some people, it could be being concerned about the look of it, because whether it's aesthetically or maybe potentially, if we're talking about in a career sense, right? Like say hypothetically, you have like a very well-to-do professional job, right? But that's not in alignment with what it is that you really want. And the opportunity that comes along of what you really want doesn't match this thing that you're doing. You know what I mean? And it's still having this issue where it's kind of like a battle going on in your mind, if you will. And it's interesting with the King of Swords being here, because what's funny is I was talking to my mentorship group before I started recording this. And I was talking about the energies with my astrologer about the connection that I've seen since June between Libra and Aquarius, You know what I mean? And he mentioned the Gemini North Node having some influence with it and talked all the astrology stuff. I don't remember everything. It was buku deep. But I was saying that I was like picking up on Gemini's energy, because with me being right about to sit here and do this, I was like, I feel like a issue with like a mindset of worry is like kind of the impression that I got, and like a worry anxiety cycle. It's like it's worrying about something and then getting anxious because you're worried, and because you're anxious now you're worried more, and because you're worried it makes you more anxious, and it's like you just keep going round and round and round. So if that's the case, where it's kind of like you guys coasting along on a path, an option, opportunity, or idea comes up that kind of upsets the apple cart, and it instantly thrusts you guys into this, you know, I don't know what I should do. What if I make the wrong choice? How do I know what the right choice is? Type of deal. You know, it's important to ground yourself in all of these energies. It's like, what brings your heart joy? You know, this is the opportunity that's coming in. If it provokes this in you, that's always the joy that you want to follow. Like, this is the elixir of life, if you will. If you ever want to know which path to take, you always want to take one that provokes joy. Now, it would be a different thing if, you know, an opportunity comes and it has you feeling like this. You know what I'm saying? Not meaning that this is here, not because like the actual offer is this, but if this is like a byproduct of you potentially getting what you want, you know what I mean? We don't want to fool with this, but it's a totally different story if this wasn't here and we were just talking about, you know, an offer that's coming in that's solely superficial, that causes a lot of chaos and calamity. It sounds like a toxic work environment to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like something like that. It's totally different. But when we're speaking in the sense of self-doubt, it's more or less related to change, you know, and it's more or less needing to take a step back. Like, if this is something that you know, because I mean, I see this card as a bridge card. And with this offer coming, this being the link between you guys taking action on the offer that's made, and this being your undergirding energy, and you guys like underlying energy being the 8 of Cups, all of this says to me that all systems say go. This says that it's an offer, even though it came at a time that you didn't expect, you didn't see it coming, right? It's very much in alignment with something that you really want. It's something that you're qualified for underneath it all. You know what I mean? And it's suggesting you take action on it. So it more or less feels to me about Gemini's month of July in the bigger scheme of things would be you guys choosing, and this would be a heavy choice, dude. It would be you guys choosing, wow. And it may be you guys choosing yourself versus people that you're connected to or family. Maybe what you feel led to do isn't in alignment with your actual family. It may not even be your soul tribe. It's just the fact of your actual literal, like mom, dad, brother, sister, auntie, cousins, whatever. You guys may be called into a totally different space or a totally different path, or breaking away from expectations of your family of origin. And it's more or less feeling called towards your soul family, or called towards your soul mission, if you will, the thing that brings you joy and excitement, you know? Something that you can utilize your creativity and your natural gifts, and, you know, as I like to say, what sets your soul on fire. But I feel that it's kind of a shock. What throws you off base is you didn't see this coming. You didn't expect this. Like, you didn't expect this opportunity to come at all. And I feel that's what's really throwing you guys into unrest here, because it's a question with the King of Pentacles. Really, that being the central theme is, can I afford this? Can I survive on my own? Do I have enough money for this? Or it's just simply a call to action that you need to, you know, this opportunity coming in, or this idea that you have would require you guys to start managing your finances a little bit more cautiously. because the King of Pentacles in the reverse is a lot about a mismanagement of funds. It's like kind of letting money slip through your fingers or spending money like water, not really being conscientious, or not investing your money, if you will, which I would see too with the King of Swords and the reverse being up here, because it's just not, it's kind of like, I don't want to necessarily say reckless. It could become that, but it's more or less like thoughtless. You know what I mean? It's like desiring something and the opportunity coming and not being prepared, or just flat out just doubting yourself. So in the most simplistic sense, this would be an idea or an opportunity that comes in for you guys that causing like a catalyst or an unrest in a sense. But I feel like it works out for you in the bigger scheme of things, because what you guys would be walking away from would be bad habits. And this opportunity is more or less the inspiration, you know, for you to make the best out of a, you know, bad situation, or to simply just get your finances in order, or to just make a decision about something. Because it does feel to me a level of investment. It's something like you're putting into something and it's not giving back to you, but it may look nice on the outside. You know what I mean? So it's kind of choosing between what's expected or what looks happy and what true happiness is, even though what true happiness is for you may not look the way that other people expect it to. But I feel this offer is coming as a catalyst, as a sense of a shakeup, because these are two things that need to be dealt with, like an indecisiveness, not really being sure which path to take, or just mismanaging finances. I sense a little bit of control with that too, because with the King of Pentacles and the King of Swords, and that would depend on your life situation, if you are a boss or a parent or whatever, it's a sense of trying to control a situation, partly out of fear, and it would be more of a fear of abandonment, to be quite honest. Because that gives me another perspective of this too. It's like I could see this as a person who's making an offer out of fear. You know, it's like making a commitment to something or making an offer to someone out of like a fear of abandonment. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily doing it out of like the genuineness of one's heart, but it's almost like FOMO. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like, it would be one of those things where, and this would be worst case scenario, if I looked at this as a person, right? Like a person outside of Gemini, this would be like a person who would make an offer to you, and it would seem as if it's on very good pretenses. Like if somebody offered you a job or something like that, right? And they offer you this position with the company, and you know they're selling you a dream. It's like, oh, you're gonna love it here, we get all these benefits, you know what I mean, and we're gonna help you do blah blah blah, we're gonna pay for your tuition, all this other kind of stuff, right? And this person is very charismatic. They're promising you that they're gonna get you to where it is that you want to go, right? But the truth of the matter is that once you would sign up for this, and for some of you guys, this could be past tense, because this could be a job that you've already taken. You know what I'm saying? But it's like realizing now that you're in it, it's like the person would be like a control freak, the boss. It's like they don't pay you on time. You know what I'm saying? Or they're stingy with the resources. You know what I mean? Like all the stuff that they promise to give you willingly, they're hella stingy with giving it to you, like making 1,000 excuses about the tuition reimbursement forms, or saying, oh, did I say 3 months on the job? I meant 6 months on the job. You know what I'm saying? And it's more or less reeling you in, and this is getting very specific, but this would be like a startup company or anything, a job that reeled you in on selling you a dream. and making it seem as if they were the missing link to getting you to where it is that you wanted to go. But this person just kind of used that as a selling point, because their whole MO behind all of this was to get their needs met. So it was more or less seeing your creative talent and your ability and seeing how that could benefit them, and them using you as a means to their end, if that makes sense. And it's you not getting anything back from that. So it's like taking advantage of a situation, if you will. You know what I mean? But it's either feeling in some sense that you're too deep in, for Geminis, feeling like you're too deep in to get out of the situation. And ultimately what this would be saying is a need to walk away from this. Like, you can get out of this situation, especially if it's not serving you, if it's draining you, and it's not, you know, if it's not giving anything back to you. That's the other way that that I could see this. I've experienced this before. It's almost like it's a person who, like, they siphon your creativity. Like, they don't have creativity and they see that you do. So it's like they'll just take and siphon all of your ideas and take credit for them and, you know, pass them off as their own, never give you credit and stuff like that. And you're kind of behind the scenes doing all of this stuff for just them. You know what I mean? Like, that's literally what this would look like, dude. And I feel the thing with this, and this is just me, for those of you who resonate with this manifestation of it, because dude, this is so like a reflection, like it's just hitting me. This is like so my life circa like 2013, 2014 in real life. Like, I legit had this happen to me. And what I know now, and this is me just kind of giving you a heads up if you resonate with this portion of it, a heads up now about this was, at that particular time, I thought I had found what I thought was my soul family, my soul tribe. But the truth of the matter was, it was a lesson that was learned, of course, but they saw a potential in me that I wasn't yet ready to see in myself, right? So it's more or less going in very, very vulnerable and wanting to help and being excited about a mission and willing to bend over backwards, but not really taking time to get to know the leader. You know what I mean? And not seeing that this person had their own selfish motives, right? So it's this open heart desire to help, to be a part of something, and not really seeing that, you know, you're kind of bending over backwards and investing so much into something and not getting anything back. And the only thing that you're really doing is building up another person, and there is no reciprocity in it. You know what I mean? So it's a lesson learned, but it's something that you want to watch out for if you resonate with this, because it's just more or less like, you know, just being bled dry. There has to be some sort of reciprocity in all of this, especially when we get into talking about intellectual property and things, you know what I'm saying? But I feel for some of you guys, the call is to step away because they see a leadership ability in you that you're not yet able to see in yourself, and they're taking advantage of your blindness in a sense. It's like you not being able to see how great you are and them piggybacking off of your greatness because you don't see it. You know what I mean? So this is more or less a wake-up call to see that this person fails in comparison to you. And if you trust yourself, trust your ability, trust your skill set, trust your creativity, you can walk away from this and be 1,000 times more successful, right? Because I feel like it's a false sense of thinking that you need this person or these people in order for you to have your new beginning. But I feel, if anything, it's holding you back, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, but that's what I see. Gemini, I feel like that was legit all over the place. I hope that it made sense. You know what I'm saying? But let me know in the comments. I'm going to go over to my website, Vimeo, Patreon, YouTube members to do you guys extended. So if you're about that life, follow me over there. If not, I still love your freaking face, and I will see you guys soon and later. Deuces. I don't know why I feel something about a mom and a kid and going somewhere. I mean, this could be a parent who has a kid that's into acting or something like that. And I know this is what's best and this is what I want, but a child breaking away from parents. What you want isn't in alignment with what it is that your parents may want for you. Biggest challenge is your fear of if you can do it on your own. Like,